Okay, welcome to the House of Animation. The front door is always open, so do come on in and enjoy the magic of animation and join us on our journey as we discuss animated films of all kinds. I am the cute mascot, Ben Gilman. As always, I'm joined by Prince Charming, Troy Salmon.
Hello, my beautiful people.
And the Wicked Witch, Tara Chloe.
Hello, it's I, the witch.
Oh, and we're going to be joined by some guests today. Oh, hold on. Oh, hello. It's Alex and Dan from Square Syndrome. How are you guys doing today?
Hello, morning.
Very well.
See, there you go.
Hello.
Yeah, I planned that for a couple of days now. So yeah, how are you guys? All good?
Yeah, good to be joining this podcast.
It's a bit different.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it. We love you guys. We'll be on the podcast. It's gonna be a good one.
Gonna be
Looking
great.
forward to commenting on these. Well, on this one in particular.
Yeah. Because Dan always told us if there was a Ghibli, let us know, and he's always going to get tagged in on them every time. So we thought, and also Alex has known about. That's obviously, Alex is on off again member of the syndrome. So she knows about this. So she said she wanted to do Alice and Spirited Away. So we thought we'd cross them over on Spirited Away because why not? Because it's always good to have guests on here.
Woohoo!
So,
Yeah.
Party poppers. I haven't got fireworks, but it's fine. I'll work on that for next time.
What's all this? What's this cute mascot, Prince Charming, evil witch?
Well,
Same.
Tara is innocent but a bit cheeky, so she's the Wicked Witch. She doesn't want to be cute, so.
Right.
Aye.
And Troy is, well, he always thinks he's Lothario, doesn't he?
I try my best.
Casanova.
Casanova. Yeah.
And so I had to be the cute sidekick. That is in every film ever. There's a cute sidekick somewhere, so I thought, okay.
And you're like Doctor Who as well. Doctor Who.
Yeah, I regenerate.
I'm seeing Ben a bit more like Betamax.
Oh god, yes.
All right, so then do me and Alex get titles as well then?
Well, I was going to let you pick yours because they came up with their own one. So I always think it's only fair that we let you decide your title for future visits to the house.
And does it have to be like some sort of, like what you were saying, like a typical character on animation?
I will leave it up to you. I'm not even going to give you a rule on that.
Okay, I'm going to be the chaotic idiot evil sidekick.
Okay.
Right.
The Iago or the Ed of the situation.
So you're going to be like the evil side of me. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Is there like a sidekick to the witch, or is there like another? I don't know. I need some help.
Well, what about being like the wise old character that suddenly becomes kick-ass?
Okay, yeah, it can be the wise old lady though.
You're very wise, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll be that. With a cat. And I have a cat, a black cat.
Oh, you can be the wise old cat.
Oh, it's got a black cat too.
Wise old lady version of Rafiki from Lion King.
Yeah, she gives me powers.
I've written them all down. I wonder if we ever get Tom on here, what we should give Tom. The king?
Tom is definitely the massively hairy, scary-looking thing that everyone thinks is going to eat the main party and then turns out to invite them in for tea in an entirely different kind of way.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Okay. That sounds fine. Okay, so today we are here to talk about, as I think I've already told you, a Ghibli film. So we are going to talk about Spirited Away, or in Japanese, Sendo Chihiro no Gyakumi Kakushi. Literally translated as Sen and Chihiro's Spirited Away in English. It's an animated film written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki.
Hayao.
Thank you. And produced by Studio Ghibli and premiered in theaters in Japan on July 2001. It's obviously the only Japanese film before Your Name to ever be winning an Oscar. Everyone knows this movie, even if you don't know anime. It's kind of
Right.
their most famous film.
Classic.
It's about a 10-year-old girl named Chihiro. Her and her parents wander into the world of the gods and spirits. Yokai is the Japanese name for them. She is forced to work at a bathhouse after her parents attended to pigs by the witch Yubaba. And obviously she has to get back and find a way to make various hijinks happen. She falls in love with a dragon, Haku. It is perfect. I haven't seen this film in nearly 20 years. Before watching this again, I completely forgot about the second half of it. There's no face. He's in the film a lot more than I remember. I didn't realize he was such a big character. I thought it was just Chihiro and Haku. There's the baby. This movie is fantastic. And what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's good.
So good. Still holds up. Even
Yeah.
now, if you're watching it again, the animation is so clean. Old
Exactly.
hand drawn as well. So literally, I think it's like the only hand drawn movie to win an award as well, win an Oscar. First and only.
It's like Disney, isn't it? I've been watching a lot of the old Disney stuff recently, and it still looks really bloody good. Like it's still like Ghibli's the same. They just they've got this thing where they just kind of feel like it's timeless. This movie looks like it was done
Exactly. Yeah.
Because when was it done? Was it done quite a while ago?
20 years ago.
Oh my god, no.
I feel old because this was the first anime film I watched. This is when I started to be an anime fan.
Oh wow, your first.
Yeah, because I was a bit late. I went to college and I bumped into someone called I'm going to put him a shout out because he listens. Well, he will listen to this podcast. He does listen to the other ones. Mark Smith, hello sir. He got me into Gundam, and this is around the time of Digimon. You know, British television started to put Gundam on, Pokemon. I didn't like Pokemon, but Digimon, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z had rocked up on British television. So, so Spirited Away was the big movie at the time. And obviously, Oscar winner, so it went into the mainstream. You know, you couldn't miss it.
Right.
And I love this movie.
So good. And the thing is, it does like the you get a lot of how would you say stuff from it as well, because it shows about greed, power. So it explains all that stuff, that literally the sins of man as well.
Her parents
are
almost inconsequential. I mean, who would just rock up at somebody's outside bit and start? It's a bit rude, isn't it?
That's the whole thing, though. There's this level of like the entire film for Spirited Away is kind of this detour.
Yeah.
Like that's the basic premise of this film is someone took a wrong turn.
Basically, yeah.
Like
down an alley.
You were saying like this was your first anime film.
It was my first proper anime film, yeah. I did Ghost in the Shell afterwards. I started to borrow Akira from my friend, and this was around 2000, 2001. So I started to get into anime around 2002. I watched all anime shows before, and then I started to go into the films.
My journey was very, very different. My dad's actually an animation teacher. Like he works with like CGI levels of animation, not anime, but because of his profession, he was always interested in anything to do with animation, animatronics engineering, special effects in general. And he would, like, I got completely involved in all of that because, you know, he's my dad. And when you're tiny, your hero worships your dad. And he introduced me to My Neighbor Totoro when I was like 6 years old.
That's something I need to watch as well. Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I've watched it. It's more of a. I think for me, that one, without getting into it, I was disappointed with it a bit because it's quite a basic story. It's good, but it's not. Everyone's got this because of the character design of Totoro. People really bigged up that film more than I think it deserves to be. it's a lovely film, but it's just not got much. This is more of a deeper movie. And they make Chihiro so smart for a 10-year-old. She's really wise. You know, she knows something's wrong immediately, tries to warn the parents. You know, I mean, like, she stumbles a lot, though, you know, when she runs down the stairs out of control. That's how I've tried to do that when drunk. It's very hard work. When you start running down the stairs, you have to keep going, don't you?
But for me, this movie was the one where I got to tell other people. The one where, like, because Princess Mononoke came out before this one, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This was Princess Mononoke was the one before this one, which was the Studio Ghibli Hayao Miyazaki production.
Yeah.
And it made it to UK cinemas, but it didn't do the massive blockbuster numbers.
No.
It did okay.
They were respected by cinema fans.
Yeah, it did okay. And it was in cinemas for a while. But when Spirited Away came along, it had this, like, sledgehammer of marketing behind it.
Yeah,
it was everywhere.
Disney started at this around this time from Mononoke onwards.
Yeah,
Disney has
Buena Vista really put just a huge amount of money behind the marketing and advertising for Hayao Miyazaki's work.
Yeah,
at that point.
Yeah,
and that's of course Buena Vista.
Pixar. Yeah,
Buena Vista is obviously owned by Disney.
That's why I'm surprised that these films ended up on Netflix and not Disney. I thought Disney would have held on to the rights to put them on Disney Plus permanently.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
You've got to make the money to make Disney Plus happen in the first place as well. So it's all business.
But I've never heard the English dub because when it comes to Japanese, I only listen in Japanese. I've never listened to English dub, so I can't speak for the English.
No, I've heard it's pretty good.
But the Japanese dub is beautiful. Obviously, what is your favorite? The amount of detail in this movie and the different character designs and all the different yokai. I was talking to my wife about it. She was filling me in on quite a few of them because there's so much different. They're all based on Japanese demons at some point. So, there's a detail going on in the background.
The kami, the spirits of Shinto folklore.
Yes, it's insane. It's like a checklist. You could spend ages freezing the frame and trying to see like what's there. It's ridiculous. So what's your favorite character design of all the monsters? Because there's a lot here.
No face for me.
Kawanashi, no face.
No face is the man.
Me too. Yeah.
Especially if you've seen them gifs. We're just running after like in real life. There's like live action people just like running down hallways and that. It's funny.
He's a creepy motherfucker.
He's super creepy.
Yeah, he actually, he makes noise that sounds like he's having sex. I think about it.
Yeah.
Especially the dub, it sounds even worse.
Self-inappropriately while he was
But
recording.
he's got this really strange obsession with Chihiro, you know.
Yeah.
It's a bit creepy, like especially when he chases after at the bathhouse. I mean, it's like a horror movie. The way he moves is so unsettling.
Yeah.
The noises he makes sounds like a pervert.
And it's the venom mouth I don't like. All of a sudden, the first time he brings the teeth out, you're like, "Whoa, okay, this is turning different."
Yeah,
right.
So that freaked me out when I was younger. That freaked the heck out.
Yeah, I can't really remember why he becomes so, like, what's the thing that Chihiro does that makes him so sort of.
She shows him kindness because she lets the door open for him to come in. And he does say, "I am very lonely." There is a tragic bit where he says, "I'm very lonely." He just wants a friend. And I think the fact that the hero shows him kindness, because he is hanging out in the background quite a bit. They're very subtly, he's there in the background on the bridge. Yeah. Obviously, they don't want him in.
But it's like he knows no limits. Once she gives him the hand, that's it. It's like it's unsatiable.
That's it. Yeah.
Everything in that house.
It's true. Yeah. No limits.
He is creepy though. I mean, he goes mental. He looks like he's cracked some acid or something. He just goes mental with the food, the gold. Me and my wife aren't too sure. There's definitely other human characters here. Now she thinks it might be yokai in human form, but I definitely think Chihiro is not the first human being to come find her way to the bathhouse.
No,
There are clearly other humans. So.
Yeah.
remember, other people have been lured there before. That's why they've been enticed by that kind of realm. Yeah.
What do you think about those little balls of fluff? You know, those like they've got just tiny eyes and really long, skinny legs, and
Oh yeah, they're good characters. Them.
So,
the sub creatures.
I've got a creature actually. Because I went to Japan in 2013 to the Ghibli Museum, and they've got every film there in like a theme park museum. It's brilliant. And I brought a No Face and the little suit things for my nieces because of the noises. It's like a squeezy toy. Yeah, it's fun. Like they're fun design. I mean, I love the spider type guy, Kamiga.
Kamiji. I think it's Kamiji, isn't it?
Kamiji, yeah. So I haven't got his name in front of me. I'm just doing it off the top.
I'm just remembering the top of my head.
The one that actually scared me the most wasn't No Face. The one that scared me the most was the giant baby.
Oh, that baby is creepy. Oh my days, it's
And
creepy.
his mother. I want to know.
Well, not even the mother. It's the baby, because the baby has this level of maliciousness and
Savagery.
tyranny.
Yeah, and it knows how
it's
to.
that vulnerable tyrant character. Like,
Yes.
It knows how to.
While you're watching Chihiro and you're watching what Chihiro's going through and what the struggle she's having and how she is making her choices and how she's growing as a person while she's making her choices.
Yeah.
You then suddenly get this example of someone who doesn't have to deal with any of that hardship. So any minor irritation is a cause for them to completely fly off and lose any sense of rationality.
I just feel like the baby's very clever because like it.
Oh yeah,
it knows how to
cunning,
manipulate people into doing what they want. Yeah,
I do feel the baby is a whiny bitch in a way. Come to think about it.
In what way?
He whines and cries when he doesn't get what he wants, and he will throw tantrums.
Manipulative.
That's basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the whole point of him being that way is because you get to see such a stark contrast to this lost little girl who is trying so hard to make such mature decisions in such a strange environment.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He is given every piece of help that he could possibly want, even if it's completely unneeded. He is spoiled beyond belief. She is given almost no help, has to take what she can get, and has to try and still look out for and be considerate of other people just to survive.
And she gets pushed. She does not have to be a nice person coming out of this movie because people take their piss with her, like no one's business. I mean, look at his mum. I mean, I love to know who the dad is, but I don't think it's a proper birth. I think it's a magic baby. I don't think anyone's touching her.
You about the mom, the granny, yeah. Basically,
she's got a big face, and it just reminds me of when she gets pissed off. Like she gets up in Haku's face later when the baby goes missing. It's generally spine tingling. The way she moves around, like she goes flying, it's creepy.
The way they animate that is amazing. The way she moves around, it's
creepy though.
I love it. Nose, yeah, it's like super big nose with a super huge wart on it.
Very distracting.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but I do think though that the baby gets redeemed because it goes on the journey with Chihiro to the good sister, who's like completely different. I mean, like that's a nice.
No, I'm not entirely sure it's good sister,
but nicer sister. In comparison, it's a much kinder version.
Yeah, she's like another version.
More charming.
More relatable than like a normal person, not like the crazy bitch from the bathhouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but again, you kind of like there's a double feature here. On the one hand, this version, is it Yubaba or?
Oh, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, it is Yubaba. The one from the bathhouse is Yubaba.
Okay, Yubaba is the one who seems to be absolute tyrant. Everything's terrible. And Zeneba seems to be the one who's all chill and nice and cool. At the same time, Zeneba's the one who has absolutely no responsibilities at all, and Yubaba is the one looking after literally thousands of people.
Creatures.
Creatures
Yeah.
are people.
Alex, you're a manager. Could you tell us what that feels like to be in charge of so many people?
Yeah, it's really tough. It's not as easy as it looks like. Sorry, I'm even losing the voice by talking about it. It's quite like a huge responsibility. You've got so many different personalities to approach in different ways, to respond differently. So you can't be the same. You're the same manager in a way, because I am the same manager for everyone, but I discuss things in different ways with everyone because not one person is the same. So I know some people might be better with, just this is the problem, and directly. And I know other people would get seriously offended, and I would have to go, in a very sensible way. So you've got to be adapting, and that's the thing. You've got to adapt, and you've got to take on sometimes a lot of a lot of stuff.
That's fine.
From people. Not recently, but I've had some quite aggressive people I've had to manage. But it does build you up. It builds you a very thick skin, where eventually, not that you don't feel, but then you learn to kind of separate from what the other person is telling you, because it's got nothing to do with you. And that's what you need to resolve. There's an issue, it's got nothing to do with you, even if they're shouting at you or they're blaming you or whatever it is. So it's a tough job. You can either be a tyrant, which some people do, and just dominate out of fear, or you can be a good leader, which is what I think I try to do, and encourage people and support people. I think the difference. It's a bit of and that's maybe the thing with the two sisters. It's probably the same person, the two sides of a person. You can either be really terrible, because that's in for all of us. Like humans can be we can do awful things, or we can do great things.
Yeah.
I mean, Yubaba isn't technically evil. There is no bad character because you can see, like, when you just brought up Dan about management, and Alex has. We do see some good sides to her during the film with the baby, and when there is customers, she does encourage the staff to do their best, even if she is after the money. But then again, that's what helps the bathhouse run. Per se, she's not an evil, I'm going to kill your family. She's just got her own way of doing things, really.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like the version of the powerful women of nowadays, that we're seen very bossy sometimes, and that's not it. If the same attitude was coming from a man, it would probably be very well accepted. That's another, that could be another way of looking at it, because she's got her own mother carrying with the baby, who's a complete disaster.
And he's not the easiest person to get on with. But I want to talk about Yubaba. She the first time we see her, there's that ugly looking bird, and that was creepy as well when it was flying around. There's a lot of imagery here where I was kind of spooked out a little bit. I watch a lot of horror movies, and the amount of times I don't react to stuff, but this movie's imagery sometimes just makes you go, "Wow, that's a bit wrong."
The bird.
Yes, it's the first time you see her image, and it's like, whoa.
It's really weird. I do agree.
I mean, I do love the soundtrack. I love the art design, because if you've ever been to Japan, these spas are amazing. They look like this. There's also a Chinese mix as well going in there as well. It's a Chinese-Japanese mix in there.
It's actually the original place is from Taiwan, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Taiwan is not. It's a separate country, separate culture.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
But you can see the influence of both.
Yeah, the yokai and the bathhouses is quite similar across Asia most of the time, but definitely started in Taiwan. I do apologize for that. Thank you for that, Tara.
But
I think the bathhouse is Japanese, but the place where they got the design from, it's a place in Taiwan.
Okay, thank you for correcting me on that. That's good.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Ben. Like, there's so much imagery. Like, it's so creative. It's so it's so colorful. It's really beautifully done. This movie for kids and adults. You know.
Mm.
And there is like a backstory in the bathhouses. It's got a dark history.
Okay.
About bathhouses, but I think Tara knows where I'm going with that.
Okay.
Like the bathhouse,
Like what do you mean?
like the
Dark history of the bathhouse?
prostitution side of it.
Yes.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
kind of in a way. Yeah.
It's like Amsterdam now with prostitutes in the windows, kind of similar thing back in samurai times.
There's some themes in this movie where you can kind of tell that's where they're going in certain parts of.
Yeah. Which Japan would like you to remember they didn't happen, and I don't blame them. It's like with England, we didn't colonize everyone. We really didn't. We like to forget about that. So the some background on the film. This film was made to please the 10-year-old daughter of Miyazaki's personal friend, director Seiji Okuda. She is the model basically for her style. Her attitude is the model for Chihiro. He apparently Miyazaki gathered the daughters of the Ghibli staff in a mountain hut to hold a training seminar. Basically, I don't know what the training seminar was about, but then he learned from them. He wanted to make a movie for a girl's age of 10, because normally he does movies for bigger families. The film, obviously, that we've discussed, Chihiro is Ghibli's always good at strong female leads. Disney are beginning to do that. Disney have always done that as well. But the one thing Ghibli's girls don't do is they never rely on a, on a guy to save them ever. I mean, they don't need love to complete their story in a film. I've always appreciated that about Ghibli movies.
True.
It's never about the prince coming for the woman.
Yeah,
Right.
that's nice.
I mean, you see it with Disney later. I mean, they started from maybe Belle. Even Belle was quite a strong female lead. Like they began to start moving away from especially Jasmine, for God's sake. Like they started to move away from that. That they were strong independents. They didn't always needed to be married.
Is Yasmin the one from
Aladdin?
Oh yes, yeah, I like her.
I love Ghibli movies because some people will say it's always predictable. Oh, it's a forest. Here's a female. Yeah, okay, but they always do something different with it. You're
always gonna get quality with Ghibli movie. That's what you're gonna say. Quality.
Quality of content.
Yes.
I mean, this movie earned a massive 31.680 billion in Japan. That's a lot of money. A record that was only beaten by Demon Slayer last year. I don't know what a Demon Slayer is.
Demon Slayer is a great show, by the way.
It's on Netflix.
I've watched 6 episodes of it only.
So good.
What was the name again?
Demon Slayer. It's on Netflix.
Now that has some great animation. Whoo, sweet.
I will have to check it out.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's money wise. Obviously, your name is the latest Japanese film to win an Oscar after Spirited Away, nearly 20 years later. Well, 15 years after the fact. This has received Golden Bear Award at the Berlin International Film Festival.
Oh, cool.
Only the second Oscar ever awarded to Best Animated Feature, the first Japanese film to do that. And it's got John Lasseter of Pixar. Is always very good at the dubs. His name comes up a lot with the English dubs because obviously I've heard the voice dub is very good.
Very good, very good.
So who's the people for the English dub? Because I don't listen to English dubs for anime for obvious reasons.
It doesn't sound good. That's a fact. It just sounds weird.
Why?
I don't know. The voice is kind of fake because it's I just don't know how to explain. Like the English dub's kind of fake.
In terms of dubs, this is probably the best I've ever heard. In terms of like
Yeah.
dubs.
Way.
Yeah, this was Spirited Away in terms of dub.
Right.
So some of them, especially from around that kind of time, it was terrible. But in
Yeah.
terms of like this actual dub, this was good in terms of like quality wise. It was decent.
Do they American it a bit too much? Because sometimes I find
Yeah.
Like
right,
Chihiro, where are you going? That
they
kind
go,
of thing.
yo, dude.
Yeah, yeah, it
please,
sounds like an
you gotta
American cartoon if you put
stop
dub.
Yeah, but it was alright. It was alright for what it was.
Oh god.
So it's just the accent and some words. Are we going on vacation? Pass me the water.
Yeah, pass me the water. Chihiro, where are you going?
I don't mind it if it's like a good translation, but 9 times out of 10 when I watch dubs, they go a bit too far with it. Like they
Yeah.
American it a bit. Obviously, big internationals. I get it. A lot of people don't want to read subtitles, right? I get it. When
The Witch sounded good. The Witch is probably the best dub in the movie. The Witch
that's good. I mean, the thing is, I know Ghibli tend to bring in British voice actors a lot into the movies because a lot of them are set in England. But like, I'm saying the energy levels is what I think is. British actors tend to be a lot more refined. And I think American voice actors tend to be a little bit louder, and I think that's why I like. I'm not picking a favorite over either.
Because they're from the United States.
They got energy, and I love that about Americans. Don't get me wrong. It's just sometimes a bit reining it in a bit is also good.
Yeah, no, I agree. English are a bit more refined, definitely. It's just in the way you guys speak. It's nicer.
We've got a bit of charm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I did watch one with my wife because Disney went back and did all the old stuff as well. And there is some good ones. Like they do seem to make an effort with the Ghibli stuff with dubs. Where I don't hate it. I might have to watch the rest of them in dub just to hear them because they don't sound terrible. They sound quite good. I understand. Bigger audience, you dub it so people can't read, don't want to read. That's fine. But I will always be a Japanese guy.
Yeah, sub over dub. Yeah, for most.
If you like dubs, that's great. I think it's great to have both.
Yeah.
Well, I prefer original, so I'm gonna go with the sub.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, same.
I have to go with
I'm like
sub as
super
well.
tired then.
If only because it's really fun to say that the father is played by Takashi Naito and then watch any wrestling fan go, what? Hang on, wait.
Yes. Yeah.
My boy. Dan's bringing up my boy.
Yeah.
Naito. Okay, for sure.
We always bring up wrestling.
I like that shout out. Dan.
Everything goes back to wrestling. Oh, the lady's name, Lynn. I like Lynn. I think she's a human. I had
Lynn.
to say to my wife. I believe she's human. I believe that they are human.
I think so too.
Yeah, she's a human spirit. Yeah, she's a human.
Yeah.
There are human yokai with marks on their forehead, but she had no marks, which makes me think, you're definitely human.
I was thinking the same thing. I saw her walking around. I was like, ain't she a human?
I like that they don't talk about it, but I wouldn't have minded them just to clarify that. But they don't need to. I think people can see that it's a humans only quarter.
Yeah.
You know?
I think they're like, go on.
Oh, like I was just gonna say, could it be that they forget that they're human?
I think maybe they've forgotten. Because there's a big thing about remembering your name. You forget who you are, apparently, when you're in the bathhouse.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they do.
So they know she's human, but they forget they're human. That could be a thing of it. But I like that the film lets you make up your own mind on it. It doesn't have to explain everything to you. And I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like, what's to stop someone coming in and invading the yokai world if there's just a tunnel? Wouldn't the press come and find it?
And you know what? It kind of makes sense as well because Lynn is kind of like the black sheep of the bathhouse. So it kind of makes sense that she's probably a human and she doesn't know she's one. Like she's kind of forgot her name and that. So it kind of makes sense.
I even like how the husband, the father at the beginning goes, this is most probably an abandoned theme park. Because back in the 80s, Japan had loads of money and they wasted it everywhere. So they did there's loads of abandoned theme parks in the 80s and 90s now when they had the bubble economy. And that's a great idea of how do you explain how weird this is. Well, this is obviously a European this is a European theme park. I thought that's really clever of you to do that because that's a way of getting around it. Like, is it open still? It's a theme park. I thought it was very clever how they did that. That was very clever.
Mm.
A little bit of realism in there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's probable.
It's probable. I actually got up and applauded that. I don't know why. I just kind of thought, yes.
It was well done, I guess, you know.
I just wanted to talk about the reactions to the smelly spirit coming in for a bath. That was
Oh God, that thing, the slut.
That sludge.
that face is the face I had when I used to live with my family and my brothers openly do his laundry.
He's telling your brother out, Ben. Damn.
He will be high-fiving someone in a couple of minutes. He loves it really. But yeah, I just the animation, trying to keep up the customer service while the smell.
That stink.
Yeah. That was some wild service, I'm telling you.
The way the hair just stood up on it, that killed me. Their eyes.
I've had to do that when I used to work in a supermarket.
Bro, Ben.
Sometimes customers would be questionable when the last time I had a bath.
Yeah.
And you just have to smile. It's like, yeah, let's just get through this, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you, Ben. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Wait, so the slut never had a bath for a really long time, so when he turned out like that.
Yeah.
I did find quite funny. No Face turns up with his orgasmic.
Bro,
I reckon that this actor was touching himself in the voice booth. I'm sorry. That's why you that noise.
That voice killed me, man. Oh, in the dub, it sounds even worse, even more cringe. I'm like, I'm just
So what
dying.
does it sound like in the dub?
It goes, it just sounds worse. It sounds 10 times worse.
Imagine your parents going, "What's that noise?" I'm not watching.
I got my headphones in, bro. That ain't happening. No one hearing that.
Look at it.
It's an anime movie, I swear.
Yeah.
Right.
What's wrong with this movie?
No, but what's really cool is that this monster, it's a monster, spirit. It's full of all this stuff, you know, like a bunch of stuff like that has probably corrupted it, made it smelly and like horrible and huge.
Exactly.
Because it's been so gritty and taken in, and then when it finishes, it's like this. What was it? It's like a little face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr.
Old
Miyagi
man
type face.
Yeah.
Oriental gentleman.
And that's what I liked about this movie, because it talks about like the environment, and if you you don't take care of it, stuff like that can happen. Because it had all like bikes and old stuff in there,
Miyazaki loves
broken stuff.
Exactly. You keep everything we keep consuming.
Exactly.
Away, hoard,
built up.
buy.
There's always that environmental message from Miyazaki, and I think that's great. You know.
Yeah, he slimed the entire bathhouse with his slime.
Yeah, just destroyed it.
Imagine
release yourself from all that garbage.
Yeah, he slimed everything with his slime.
Rubbish, as you may say.
I wouldn't want to work at this bathhouse. It's chaotic.
It's
It's just flying around and coming in out of doors.
Yeah, it's kind of gross when you think about it. Like, you have to clean the toilet, the bathroom, and yeah.
She's savage out there. Whew.
But I mean,
go on.
thankfully, thanks to the spirit, Chihiro was able to wash this thing. Do you know?
Exactly. Yeah, No Face. Yeah, No Face helped him. Helped her, I should say.
Yeah, he's the one to give her like loads of those little things to get more water.
Yeah.
Spirit soap.
To get like super deluxe.
They just put a bag of them. And I was like, yes, go on, No Face.
I mean, who's older, Hayao Miyazaki or the Queen? Because he's quite old. I mean, he's still doing movies now. He's still doing stuff away from Ghibli now.
How old is he?
I don't know. He's got to be 90. He's got to be nearing 90 now. Like, he should have retired a long time ago. But he's still pumping them out. You know, he's still got the magic.
The man, he's the man.
There's so many.
I mean,
the magic.
Be the best.
Yeah, he's 80 now. He's 80.
Oh, okay.
But he's younger than the Queen.
Yeah,
Not
I
getting
was just
into it,
making a joke. I mean,
Ah.
I think it's fantastic how old the Queen is. It's amazing at
Yeah.
96.
I was checking. I know he's up there.
I have a lot of respect for people that don't know when to retire and keep going. It's incredible.
If you're still making great content, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm just going to say that because I do respect the royal family for the age. They could easily retire if they wanted to, but they still want to do the job. That is, yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Ghibli.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of movies to watch from this.
Oh, when you do, let us know because Netflix has apparently got them permanently because they've done a deal, so they are technically Netflix originals now.
I want to
Yeah.
bring up one more thing.
Sure.
That train journey.
Okay.
Chihiro's train journey with no face.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Is the rest of the film.
Mm.
Chihiro is all about like this. Right, she's gone into this new world that she's followed her parents who are supposed to know better into this dangerous place, and they've allowed themselves to become even more in danger and even more in peril and have completely lost any sense of who they are, right?
Yeah.
She's then panicking, wandering around. There's this boy who's wandering around with her who knows something about the place. She's disappearing. He goes, "You need to eat. You either need to accept that you're in this entirely new place, you're in this entirely new world, and everything is different and everything is going to change, and you don't know the rules here and you still have to survive, or you're going to disappear. Make your choice."
Yeah.
And she chooses to embrace the new and to embrace the fact that she has lost all of the control and all of what she knows to be concrete and real instead of disappear.
Mm.
From there, you've got panic. Like loads and loads of panic up until the point that she is taking no face to Zeneba.
Yeah.
Right, everything else is in some way or other either barely hidden and kind of controlled anxiety and panic, and I hope I'm doing it right, or maybe I'm gonna die, or actual shit, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die.
Mm.
Then we get to that train journey, and in that train journey, we start off with No Face and Chihiro and a bunch of other passengers.
Mm.
And if you look at these passengers, they all seem to be people who would have more of an idea of what to do than Chihiro would. They all seem more mature in their very basic portrayals. And they all start getting off one at a time before her.
Yeah.
And the train empties out until there are no more responsible people. It's just Chihiro and the person she has to look after, which is No Face.
Yeah.
No Face has already proved themselves to be someone who has less than a 1-year-old's capacity to reason. And the last person she sees before she's completely on her own in that train station, there is this girl standing at a train station.
Mm.
And that's the point where Chihiro stops being a girl. That's the symbolism that's there.
Yeah.
That girl at that train station is her childhood saying goodbye. From there on out, she has confidence in her own choices. She stops saying sorry so much.
Yeah.
She starts actually being someone with their own ability to think and to reason out things and to figure out if something's a waste of time or not.
Mm.
And whenever she gets to Zeneba, she starts to realize how much of a waste of time that was, because she's going to have to go back and face down all the shit she has to face down anyway.
The minute she gets off that boat with Lynn is the moment where she doesn't ask anyone else anymore. She tells people what she's going to do. That is a very good point. That's the bit where she doesn't rely on people anymore.
Mm.
She drives the story from that point on. With her decision.
Right.
Lovely.
I just wanted to put it forward.
No, it's a good
Yeah,
point.
no, I really like that reflection. I hadn't really seen that, so it's really good.
Mm. Okay. So, we give it a score out of 10 here on this podcast. Like, you can do a 9.1, 9.2, because you know, 9s and 10s are the same. So we encourage a score from 1 to 10. I'm going to give this a perfect 10. Like, this is the first 10 I've handed out because I just can't disrupt this movie like with a 9.5 or anything. It's perfection. It's 2 hours. It has the confidence just to keep changing it up, but also the pace of it. Within the first 10 minutes, we're already with Haku and we're running into the bathhouse. It doesn't. First 15 minutes, this movie's moving, but yet it still takes the time to flesh out the world. It's incredible. It doesn't mess about. It doesn't get stuck at any point for too long in a place. It's a great movie. It's perfect. It's a 10. It's still a 10. It was a 10 when I first watched it. It's a 10 now. Definitely.
I mean, I see your logic. I'm personally, it's a 9 for me, just because I've seen all of Studio Ghibli.
Okay.
And as much as this is a powerhouse, there are very few Ghibli films that aren't.
Yeah.
This is really solid. It's a great thing to be in the mainstream from Ghibli. It was a great, real breakout thing for Ghibli, but it doesn't hit the top spot for me, even of Hayao Miyazaki's work. So it's a 9. The 10 would go for the things which very personally I feel are head and shoulders above absolutely everything else. It's a perfect movie, I agree with you, but it's a 9.
Okay. Anyone else? Who's next?
I'm not sure what to say because I mean I love the movie. I know I watched it many years ago and I've seen it recently, and that's why I was talking about this with Ben. And it really blew me away. Like I loved it, and I love animated movies, and Disney movies, and I really love them. It's not my favorite movie of all times, but
Okay.
I don't know if that's like the reason why I would rate it less or more. But I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 10, even if it's not like on my top, like the number one
10,
for me.
okay.
I'm still gonna give it a 10.
Got you, Alex. Got you.
Okay. What about you, Tara and Troy? Whoa! Hold
Tara,
on.
you're going again. Tara, you're going again.
Tara, your battery's low.
Sorry.
Your voice has gone funny again, cranky.
Your voice has gone very weird.
Hold on.
Right.
No,
No, that's very definitely a phase robot.
Yeah, you've turned into a Dalek, mate.
Dalek. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, you're sounding like a Dalek. Blah, 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 blah.
It's okay. I will put you back in the call.
Yeah. We'll drop you and put it back up.
Okay, Troy.
This movie's so good, but I'm still contemplating if I should give it a 10. It's a tough one. I can't give it a 10 for some reason. I still can't give it a 10.
Okay.
So it's really good, but I'll give it a 9.8 out of 10.
9.8. It's in the 9s. Tara, you're back.
Yeah, give me a second.
Woo!
Right.
Solved
can
it.
hear
I'm
you.
back.
Yes.
Turn on the speaker first.
Sorry, I kicked you out, but viewers, man, that
Wait,
kicked you
I
out.
need to
Didn't
turn
hear.
on the speaker first.
Okay. Well, Troy just giving it a 9.8. What about you?
Oh, here. Okay.
Yeah, 9.8.
9.5.
9.5.
Okay, 9.5.
Yeah.
All right, it's a 9. That's the highest average we've had so far on this podcast.
I guess so.
That would put it, if we were to rank these, Troy's keeping track of all this. I think I'm correct, am I, Troy?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's the highest that we've been rated the movie so far. So yeah.
I don't give 10s out. There's going to be very few movies that gets a 10 from me. But this is the that I will give a 10 to.
I would probably give loads of 10s.
Well, that is your choice.
Hey, it's up to you, Alex. You do. Hey.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna give it.
Ghibli 10, Disney 10.
Yeah, Ghibli's like Ghibli 10.
Should we just give Alice in Wonderland next week the 10 and just move on? No, I'm joking. No.
Yeah. Well, maybe I changed my mind with the things you say. I'll be like, oh my god, you've completely destroyed my Alice. I'm giving it a 6 now.
Does happen because Dan made a really good point about that bit where she makes all the choices. I'm like, you know what? I definitely agree. That minute she gets off the boat, but I didn't think about it like that. It does happen. When you have a chat in this podcast, it can change your score sometimes. Okay. So,
Okay.
oh, sorry.
Hmm?
Okay. So they're coming back next week. So Dan and Alex have guest rooms in this house. We've prepared them for you.
There's some rooms in this house.
Yeah. Dan, yours is green, and Alex, there's Day of the Dead everywhere. You'll be right at home because you love Day of the Dead, so it's fine.
Mhm.
And of course, because I'm Irish, I must love green, right?
You
You do.
anything that you want to.
Don't worry, no one's gonna see the green. I'm just gonna put like false backgrounds up on every video I do.
Okay. It's sorted.
I'll have a sombrero like a Mexican.
All of them are
Oh,
going.
get the sombrero ready.
Every single one of them is just going to be a big symbol saying the opinions of Ben Gilman are not the opinions of Square Eyes Syndrome.
Square eye syndrome. Yes.
Yes. Okay, we have to do Loco one day. Oh no,
I mean,
forgot.
Coco.
Coco, that's
Oh.
it. Coco.
See, Alex is here. That's why I said loco. That's why.
Well, no,
no.
Alex about that.
Because that's what Mexicans do. Loco, loco.
Yeah, loco.
Uh,
That's the loco, eh?
no, but
Escucha.
I've spoken about that movie. Made me.
Yeah,
cry.
he is loco.
Yeah,
One
he's
day
a
we'll
loco.
get
He's
to that
loco.
movie. That might be on the thing.
Coco is a great movie, Ben. Yes, please do that.
So good. It is a good movie. So good.
Okay. Well, it's goodbye from me.
Yeah.
Bye from me.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
So long. See you later. Have a good time. Auf Wiedersehen. Bye.
Please do leave the house. It's time for you guys to leave the house now. You have to get out. Otherwise, we're going to send paper birds after you. You know, those things really do leave paper cuts. So get out. Okay. See you next time. Bye bye.